here at Melbourne's famous Yarra River, enjoying Crown's Chinese New Year Festival. Now, this time, it's all about the Year of the Horse. And there's so much going on here. The atmosphere is abuzz. There's over 50 market stalls, lion processions, live music and entertainment, feng shui, and so much more. So, let's get looking. Chinese New Year, or the Lunar New Year as it's often referred to, is a long-standing tradition in Australia. With over 2 weeks of cultural festivities, it's one of the biggest annual events in Melbourne. The bazaar attracts over 100,000 visitors every day. It's a great way to experience a touch of Asia, but for me, it's all about one thing. Looks good. Looks good. Yum. With Melbourne being renowned for its food and restaurants, it's perhaps Asian cuisine that is the most popular. And it's not hard to see why when walking through the Hawker's Bazaar. Oh, is this one stronger?
Not really, don't worry, just a mild one.
Okay.
Yeah, the sweet one. It's my favorite, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yum.
Yeah,
that's good. There's so much to do here and I'm having an absolute blast. But I better get back to the poker room.
And thank you, Sherry. Welcome back to the 2014 Aussie Millions High Stakes Cash Games. There is the leaderboard / well, it's a balance sheet. Paul Newey sits atop with 156,000 in profit. With that last pot, Doug Polk moves up to around about 90k. And pretty much everybody else at the table needs to make up some ground. They're all in the red, especially Shing Fung.
Yeah, he's certainly been involved in a few pots earlier on here. But things haven't gone too well for him, down about 180,000.
Action on Haxton from the United States. He will raise it up.
Ike, no stranger to high stakes cash games, especially online. He's been around for a long time now. Very successful.
Looks like Doug Polk's going to 3-bet him.
No, Isaac was just a straddle there, Paul. So Doug's opened the pot with the ace-10 of spades. Just a reminder that a straddle is just pretty much a third blind.
Calls, 14.
More chips in the middle. Richard Yong with ace-queen offsuit. Doug Polk with ace-10 of spades. Ike Haxton in the middle.
Heads up.
Gets out of the way. So 2 to the flop. And the flop, well, an interesting 10-4-3 flop.
Check.
And Doug, being the pre-flop aggressor, has flopped well. He's outflopped Richard. Top pair, top kicker. Expecting to continue. And Richard, just in a single raise pot, quite possibly could float.
23.
Makes it $23,000. Pot now $58,000 over to Richard Yong from Malaysia, and he lets it go this time. So a nice pot for Doug Polk there from the United States, winning one off Shing Fung a little earlier. And now Richard Yong from Malaysia. Bit of momentum. He's in the white too, doing very well.
He'd probably be up around about the 100,000 mark now.
And there is his player profile, online heads-up specialist. And, well, his previous live winnings haven't been all that impressive. It seems like cash games his thing.
Yeah, he's got a lot of experience in big online nosebleed cash games. He's been playing the last few years. And he's one of the biggest winners online in that time. Plays under the online handle WCGRider.
Max Altergott from Germany, reaching for chips. 12,000 is the bet. He raises it up with ace-4 of hearts. Richard Yong from Malaysia throws chips in the middle. He has king-8 of hearts.
And as you can see, Paul, earlier on in this cash game, the raises were a lot smaller. The fact that there's now a straddle, there's an open to 12,000. Earlier on, we're seeing an open to 5,000, 6,000. So automatically, straight away, we're building big pots.
Well, it could be fireworks here. We've got 2 flush draws on a double heart board.
And the wheel draw as well for Max.
19,000.
He's going to lead out. And Richard Yong, with the second nut draw, calls. If a heart peels here, he could be in big trouble money-wise. What a card. The ace of spades on the turn.
Well, it now has Richard drawing dead. He still has the second nut flush draw. So he's in terrible shape. But he'd still like his hand, Paul.
Well, Max checks here, I believe, probably hoping to get a bet out of Richard. But Richard checks behind the river. A black 10, the 10 of clubs.
Richard gets very lucky there, not improving his hand. His pot could have been huge. They're both sitting with $250,000. But Richard's going to get away with losing the absolute minimum, I think.
Well, the pot's 71,000, unless Richard Yong gets a little bit creative. I can't imagine he'll call a bet here, but you never know. Cash game is about aggression. It's about making moves. Max will bet. And Richard quickly folds. So that looks like around about 38,000, as the dealer says. So Max Altergott with a very nice pot there. And Richard Yong, well, he dodged a bullet, really.
He did a little bit. Just interesting on Max. He's known as a cash game player. The first tournament that he played, he won for $2.2 million in Monte Carlo last year.
Not a bad way to start. And we'll be back with more in the 2014 Aussie Millions.